3, 2, 1. It's the motherfucking RNJ Show.
What's going on, guys? Today
What's
we
up,
got
guys?
a dope ass interview today. Today we're gonna be interviewing the guys from Men's Health Unscripted. We got Patrick. Say hello, Patrick.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to be here.
And then we got Cameron right over there.
It's your boy.
Hey, hell yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna, run down some questions with these guys about,
Get
men's
to know
health.
them a little bit.
Get
Some information on some men's health and have a great conversation.
Exactly. See where it takes us,
So
We're
yeah,
here to stimulate those prostates, man. Let's get them going.
Oh, yes, sir.
Fingers ready, baby.
Before we get into all those questions, please take a moment to like the video. Definitely go out to their YouTube channel. It'll be the first link in the description.
Oh yeah.
Go check them out, subscribe, like all their stuff. They're great guys.
I just hate to cut you off. Our biggest thing is Spotify, iTunes, anywhere you can get a podcast is like probably our major outlet as well. YouTube, it comes and goes. But yeah, like that shit too.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
We'll
Like
throw
it
those
up,
things
like
down,
it up.
blow 'em
Run
up.
it up. So getting into the first question that we wanted to ask you guys was, how did you get into this pharmacy industry? What was like the main thing that led you to get into this industry?
Cam, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll slide into that. So I can't speak for Pat, but I'm gonna say first off, it's definitely ignorance. Oh no, I don't know if you guys can hear me. You guys good?
Yeah.
Okay. A little thing popped in my thing. Oh yeah, so it's definitely just ignorance at first. Like I had no idea. When I was younger in high school, I was really good at science and things like that. So I was wanting to kind of go into that field. And then I was working for a guy doing like construction, like building pools and renovating houses and stuff like that.
Right.
And he was like, "Oh man, my brother's a pharmacist out there in the desert. He works for Tylenol or something like that. He loved it. It's great." And when you think about pharmacy, your idea is like just that box. They work at CVS, they work in.
Yeah, exactly. That's
all
the
you
first thing
think
that comes to mind.
But it's there's so much more to it, and it's just beating you down. So it's a doctorate level degree, and they basically train us to be. I don't want to like put the pressuring on it, but it's basically a low level doctor on this.
Right.
Like we go through all the guidelines for the health conditions. We get told all the time, we don't diagnose, but then we'll get handed cases, and then we have to diagnose this motherfucker with something, and then we have to give him something for it. And it's technically that's legally outside of our scope of practice, so it's kind of irritating.
Right.
But I think it's just one of those ignorance things where I thought, being a pharmacist, I wasn't going to be responsible for people's lives. That's something I experienced in the Marine Corps, where I was in charge of people. I did 2 deployments to Afghanistan, where I had men below me, and I was in charge of their well-being. And I tell you what, 19-year-old motherfuckers don't listen for shit. We die, and they still do it, and you're like, fuck. So I was like, I don't want to do that. Let me do pharmacy. I'll get a doctorate. I'll get to still do some healthcare stuff, but I won't be responsible for people's lives. But fucking joke's on my ass, a bamboo.
Dude, that's crazy. What a twist.
Yeah, it's like it's the same boat. So I'm still responsible for people's lives anyway. So that's how it worked out for me at least.
Yeah.
There you go.
What about you, Patrick? How did you get into this industry?
I saw the movie American Gangster, and I just always wanted to be a drug dealer.
Okay. I like it.
Slanging it.
And then I realized when I got to pharmacy school, I'm giving you the drugs that you probably don't want. So maybe an drug dealer. But in all reality, I don't know. It's kind of in a crossroads in my life. Owned. Are you guys familiar with like travel baseball and all that good stuff? Like travel.
Kind of a little bit, yeah.
All right. So I played college baseball, started a travel baseball organization, had a bunch of teams called the Chupacabras, and just burned myself out on it. It was a great idea at the time.
Right.
And, kind of hit a crossroads in my life. And through baseball, I had a couple of parents and friends and stuff that were pharmacists, and they're like, "Oh, it's a great job." And me being the dumbass I am was like, "Oh, sure. Like I can finally get that drug dealing goal."
There you go.
But it's kind of same thing as Cam. Just I'm ignorant.
Right. Yeah, and about that, it's like, what do you guys like the most, and what do you like the least about the work that you guys do, or like around just pharmaceutical stuff?
So for me, it's actually the same exact thing. And then Patrick can vouch for how good I am at this, though, but it's the patience. Right. I hate people. So, like, I don't know if it's maybe myself personally or if it's my experience in the military, but like people don't listen to you, and they always want to argue with stuff, and they don't understand. So again, the whole thing, society, everybody's ignorant. They don't understand certain things or certain ways. But I hate dealing with patients just because of that fact. But I also, it's one of my favorite parts because, as Pat will vouch, I'm really good at it. And I have a really good, like, charismatic way of dealing with patients. Like, my patients love me, my current ones that I work with and things like that. It's the same thing for me. I hate it and love it. A love-hate relationship, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. I totally feel that.
I think you can find something like that in all types of jobs, a love and a hate part.
Right.
Of it.
Yeah. Because I mean, I'm like a restaurant server, so I'm out there serving the customers. You know, I love them because I'm out there giving them food, making them happy. But at the same time, you know, they could just give me snippy attitude and do this and that. It's just
you
like,
gotta swallow it.
You gotta swallow it. You know, especially for me, I want that, you know, tip. So it's just like, oh, you got to eat it up and, you know, be that person. But I can relate with that. I see that.
Yeah, I could see that. I guess what I like about it is I like the science and shit. I really like how the human body works. And maybe as we get into this interview, you guys will kind of see where our passion for men's health comes in.
No, yeah.
Just understand where the body works and how diseases happen, how they're cured, how they're treated. I mean, that whole thing is really fascinating. So I'm more of like the science end of it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Man, what I hate about it. Did you guys ask me that?
Yeah.
All right.
He's like, well, there's
a lot of things.
Well, how much time you got, buddy? I'm just kidding. I guess what I hate about it, or what I dislike about it, is probably how the American healthcare system is treated, and how people sometimes treated, where, you know, they don't really always get the care that they adequately need. And so
I want to talk about that later on too, because it's crazy.
Okay. And so I think there's a lot of issues there. They're glaring issues. I don't think anyone would disagree with me when I say that. And that kind of probably goes back into why I love it too, is because it's up to the interdisciplinary healthcare team to come up with adequate problems that are still cost effective. And so I think hating it is because there's really not like an easy answer or an easy solution all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but I guess that's our job, right? Solve problems.
Exactly. Yeah, I see that. That's a great answer, honestly. So like, speaking on, you know, men's health. So what can you give us, not only us, but like the audience, 3 like big tips that you guys would give to just being healthy in general? 3 easy like things that people can do to try to live a more healthier lifestyle.
Right. Like your average person, you know, without going to extreme lengths to really expensive stuff. Like, what are some healthy, you know, maybe even natural ways that you can, you know, boost your immune system, stuff like that?
For sure.
Well,
so
the first one I want to hop on before Pat gets into it, because Pat's got all that good knowledge on that.
Yeah.
But the first one that I seriously advocate about is like talking to people about stuff. Like the biggest problem all of us can agree men have is we don't like talking to people about our feelings. We don't like talking to doctors about any of our health issues.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going there talking about high blood pressure. We're trying to avoid that.
Yeah.
We say how much alcohol we take in, we definitely cut that number down a little bit. That's for sure. So, first piece of advice I got to say, the biggest thing is just start to be more open to talking to people, whether it's healthcare professionals, whether it's, you know, your significant other, your best friend, just somebody you can open up to a little bit at least to kind of get that mind house going. That probably should talk to somebody.
Exactly.
That's a great piece of advice, honestly, because I think that's a big problem. Just as like being a man in general is just not even speaking about even like your own mental health issues. That's another thing that guys want to hide and do not want to like put out there, because, you know, it can come off as somebody being weak or something like that. So I think that just being able to speak up for yourself and having somebody in your corner that you can talk to is very important. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's a great
100%.
So before I get into maybe my top 3 things, I'm going to shock you guys and your listeners that 75% of all suicides are male. And that goes, that is an absolute fact. You look that up. It's on the CDC. Anywhere you want to look that's a reputable source, it's about 75% of suicides committed are male. So going back into what Cam said, it's really important to talk about, you know, your problems, your feelings, your health, And I think that a lot of times not discussing something with a significant other, even if it's like a problem in the relationship, if people avoid it, then it's compounds and it builds, and then now you hate each other, rather than saying like, hey, I don't like the way you slurp on your soup, it bothers me. And then maybe like, I mean, like maybe it'll stop, or like maybe you can have them just go eat that in the other room or something, and like the annoyance doesn't happen, and it doesn't.
Or just no soup.
I'm using like a frivolous
Only
example,
solids.
but it's something everybody can relate to, right? Like, oh God, I hate the way she drinks her tea. So, and then I guess the other stuff is get up and walk. This podcast is not for bodybuilders. I mean, if you're a bodybuilder and you want to listen to it, we love you, but it's not for the people who are the get abs in 10 days guys. People that maybe just need to get up, get off your ass, go for a walk, and just start step by step. I mean, like, you can't realistically expect to be a marathon runner or a power lifter or whatever without taking that first step to get to. So that's my first thing. My second thing, I will say, eat more vegetables, eat more whole foods, eat less processed foods, and less refined sugar.
Rice.
And I think nobody has to be perfect. Just mix a fucking broccoli once in a while.
Steam some broccoli.
You know, it's kind of like if it grows, if it runs, you know, those kind of things. Not here pushing a certain kind of lifestyle on anybody. Everybody has their own thing that works for them, but definitely like maybe trade out the bag of potato chips for an apple once in a while. Mix in a fucking salad. You know, like just we're really built, this podcast is really built on small changes that equal big goals. And so that's number 2. Cam, you took number 3 for me. Just talk about be open with your healthcare professionals.
I make 3 altogether.
I mean, family, be open with your family. Just being able to discuss something early on in a problem will help it down the road become less of a problem. I guess if I had to come up with something, lay off the salt. That shit is in everything and it causes high blood pressure.
Okay.
That's my shit. So talk about it. Not no salt. That's impossible, but minimal salt, eat more foods, and just get up and move. Even if it's like low impact. I got a ton of injuries from baseball. I do yoga and I walk my dog and I don't lift weight. I do a little bit of push-ups, but my body's hurt. So, you know, I'm trying to just do what I can to keep myself in shape. Movement stimulates your lymphatic system, which is kind of like your, I guess probably have a best way of saying is like your body's garbage disposal, where your body kind of sends all the shit that builds up to your lymph, and then it gets sent out through sweat, urine, poop, whatever. And so the walking and the exercise stimulates that, because your lymphatic system isn't like your arteries and veins that pump. Your muscles and the movement of your muscles are what pumps your lymph system. So
okay.
You get sick, you get swollen lymph nodes. It's because your white blood cells are dumping that virus or whatever is in your body to your lymph nodes.
That makes sense
now.
There you go.
You learn something new every day. Hell yeah.
All right.
That's funny. I'm always like, damn, that's just like full in there. That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can go now, guys. You guys learned something.
All right. That's
I'm just kidding. Stay on for more exciting mental facts.
Yes, exactly. And about that too, because Pat, you were talking about, you know, just lifting weights and stuff like that. So I had a quick question. Do you think supplements or like working out supplements in general, like, are they bogus? Do they work? Creatine? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, what are you guys' thoughts on, like, is it bullshit? Are they fucking lying?
So that's a real gray area. So my big thing is most of the stuff we get, our kind of nutrients we need, we should be able to get from our meals. So if we're eating our stuff more wholly, you know, getting the meats, getting the vegetables, trying to keep stuff clean, you'll get what you need. Now, sometimes, if you're doing like an insane, you know, Schwarzenegger type fucking program, you might need to pump that protein up. But you also got to look at those nutritional facts on the backside, because a lot of these things that are fucking pumped with sugar. Like when I was in the service, we did the what was it, BSN, like the Inno Explode. I can't remember the brand name for that one, But I'm sure like anybody's been in the gym, you know what this brand is. Their protein stuff, they had like a delicious, like their peanut butter's amazing, and their heck banana split or something that was fucking fantastic.
Right.
But that shit had more sugar than motherfucking Rosie O'Donnell's blood. So, you can't. It's not a fucking balance. Like I don't care how much gains you're putting in. If you're fucking eating 5 grams of sugar like all the time,
Right.
you're not gonna get nowhere.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, I see. Yeah.
Same with a lot of the supplements too. They got other stuff in it. You're getting a lot of extra sodium in it. You got a lot of extra potassium.
No, right. Yeah.
Your body has to process that stuff out. And if you've maybe had a little too much drinks in the past, or if your kidney function's not doing so good, your body's not removing that, and it's going to lead to all kind of other problems. So it's a real big balance on that. And they're not really regulated by any kind of body. So those dudes are just putting where the fuck they can find in that shit and
They
calling
saw
it.
that
Yeah. Spring
those,
MSG up in there.
Yeah.
a lot of those
Chemical X.
a lot of those products are actually not really regulated fully by the FDA because of the wording on the box. And,
right.
So I'm not going to discredit or give any of them a ton of credit. I think that, if you need a multivitamin, like if you're a vegan and you need some B12, I think that's fully reasonable. If you aren't eating your kind of, I guess, like the animal products and things that B12 are in, you should B12 supplement yourself because that can lead to a ton of digestive issues. It can really lead to a bunch of problems if you're not getting your B12, your vitamin C, all that stuff. So I think there's definitely some validity to the workout supplements.
Yeah.
But again, like Cam said, I know a couple bodybuilders that are like, I get everything I need from my meals. So.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So there's even bodybuilders that aren't even taking no protein or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something you got to keep an eye out too, because a lot of nowadays people are, watching that sugar. So they're putting the chemical additives to it, aspartame, what's other shit? Whatever the kind of sweeteners they're using, and
sorbitol,
stuff like that. Sorbitol in itself is a fucking devil. It's not good for it's not really good. It pulls in a lot of fluid and stuff into your blood and in your body because
like
it's
the stevia sweeteners and the sucralose sweeteners. Like, are those
stevia
bad?
is not as bad because that one's supposedly a plant. So I don't know. So I don't work at factory.
What is it? Yeah.
Because
isn't that
a lot of this
agave,
stuff
right?
starts off as plants, and then some guys like, put this in a fucking bottle, and then
their definition of naturally is like anything could be natural for them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Like talking on specific supplements, I wanted to bring this up to you guys' attention to see what your thoughts on it were. So there's this supplement out there that I got introduced to. I haven't taken it personally, but I was watching a few Joe Rogan podcasts. Shout out him. He's the podcast king.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he takes a supplement called Alpha Brain. And it's like kind of like a bunch of different type of like alpha supplements.
Yeah, it's a dietary supplement that helps support cognitive functions like memory, mental speed, and focus. Like, what's your guys' take on that? Do you think
something like that could work?
They're called not probiotics, but nootropics or something like that. Like, just like what are you guys? Yeah, what are your thoughts on like stuff like that?
What was it called? Alpha what?
Alpha Brain.
Brain?
Yeah, Alpha Brain.
Look that shit up, Cam. I don't know what's in
that's what I do. Let's take a look, see what's in this set.
I thought you guys were going to say DMT or psilocybin.
I mean, I would like to hear what your thoughts on that. What are your thoughts on that?
DMT, that's actually crazy. Let's talk about that. If you got some info about that.
So DMT, I have probably less experience with. I heard it's kind of more of a spiritual adventure, but your body does naturally produce it. So we're like dreaming and having those like that cognitive brain function while you there's definitely some very small burst DMT going on. But I couldn't fully speak on that. Psilocybin, there are actually a lot of really good studies coming out on the benefits of psilocybin microdosing to help with depression.
Right.
The whole psilocybin movement is it's coming from the West Coast where you guys are at. I feel like the West Coast is always 10 years ahead of the rest of the United States. A lot of
Shout out the West Coast, baby.
I mean, it's true, like technology,
Yeah, Silicon Valley is everything over here.
You guys had the medical marijuana thing before anybody.
Yeah.
Proven to be a really good thing for a lot of people in pain management.
Right.
The psilocybin, there have been studies showing that it does help in a microdose with depression, other like anxiety, like a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah.
So
I've heard of people taking.
it's a good time too.
Yeah, I've heard of people taking psychedelics and like earthly drugs to help them stop their addiction to like cigarettes or something like that. That's what I've heard of, at least. Is that legit too? Do you know anything about that?
That would be a lot more difficult because like there's no one who's gonna be like willingly open to put any kind of study on this kind of stuff, because the amount of variability to any kind of human data you're gonna get from that. Plus, you also have to be able to obtain this stuff and then give it to people to find out. So like that's really more like a personal experience kind of thing. But I think that could also that could kind of played into like the placebo effect, where you just happen to find something that you like a lot more, and it's able to get your mind away from it.
Right.
So I think it's like, again, really person specific for that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of the ayahuasca and doing all that stuff, and I think that there is a, this is off the record. I mean, you guys can obviously post it, but this is like out of the kind of pharmacy spectrum. But I think there's definitely a spiritual component. I've known a lot of people that have gone on the not psilocybin, the ayahuasca, trips and all that kind of stuff, and it helps them, kind of clean some things out spiritually. I've read stuff where they do use that to help with like kind of cleaning out an addiction problem. I'm not going to say if it works or not. I haven't tried that for myself, so I'm kind of ignorant on the subject, but from the people that I know that have tried it, it seems to have helped them a lot, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So kind of on that topic, what do you guys think about like meditation and stuff like that? Like, do you guys think that really helps somebody, or like, is it just?
That is definitely like a big thing. We're all about that stuff. So the at least to me, the whole idea of centering on meditation is just keeping that stuff to yourself, thinking about things from like, your internal, your mind, I guess. You're looking at stuff from your point of view. You're able to focus on maybe issues. You kind of realize like, oh, I'm having a problem with this. I might need to address that. Or you're thinking about maybe an issue you had, again, with significant other or the family member, and you're taking that second look at it. So it really just helps open your mind to kind of how things could have been, how you can maybe improve yourself, which something we all definitely need in this fucking 2021. Like we all
exactly. That's the least we could do.
The least.
Right.
I think my take home point for meditation, and this is kind of how I describe it, is that every single human on the planet has, and even animals really, have a supercomputer sitting in between your ears.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer of you are the only person that can shape your reality and make things the way that you want them to be, as long as you're not harming anyone.
Right.
And acting maliciously. And so that's kind of how I feel about that is our brains, I truly believe, are so much more powerful than we give them credit for, because you're not thinking about breathing. You're not thinking about your heart beating. It's just doing it. And so that there's a lot of functions that your brain are in control of that you're not really even aware of. It's just happening, and that's allowing you to live. Right. And so I think that when you actually put the focus into the brain of, if you want to start a business, if you want to be a pro athlete, if you want to have a world famous podcast, any of those things really start with right here in between the ears, and the steps to take of, if you really want it, no one's going to stop you. And I'm a firm believer, and I tell this to everybody I come across, you can do anything in the world that you want to, as long as you work hard and you put your mind to it.
Right. Totally agree with that. Yeah.
That's powerful. That's a powerful message. Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, damn it, I'm in pharmacy school, and who would have this degenerate would have ever gotten this far?
Oh man.
One question that I really wanted to ask you guys, there's a few questions I really wanted to, but one of the main ones was dealing with getting clear skin, because I'm somebody that I personally am pretty oily, and I do get acne every now and then, and my skin isn't the cleanest. I know a lot of guys deal with like getting their skin nice, and nobody really tries to do anything. So what's maybe one thing that you guys would say to help getting cleaner skin?
That one's gonna be a bit harder. So a big component of that is, we can nail down on some stuff and see how we can walk around. A big component of that is genetics. You know, the amount of oil screen glands you have, the amount of oil they're going to produce, and again, like how susceptible your body is to the bacteria. So a big part of it is like the bacteria is crawling around your face, it gets into the pores, and then your body responds to that. And a lot of people, so people with clear skin, they actually have less of a response to that. So their immune system isn't developed to the point where it's able to attack at that level. So people who have acne, their immune system is actually more responsive. So they're technically, you know, healthier in a sense. You know, lifestyle aside from that. So the biggest thing really is you got to, you know, wash your face as much as you can, change your diet, because stress diet is a big part of the oil secretion as well.
Right. Yeah, I was going to definitely say stress. Yeah, that was a good question. I would definitely say stress plays a big component. I know that like I break out right here really bad when I'm, you know, freaking out like on my chin. If we got a bunch of exams and stuff, I break out pretty bad. And I'm like you, I'm a little oily myself. So don't exfoliate too much. Don't exfoliate too little. It's kind of like just the right amount. Salicylic acid is good to put on a active pimple. I personally like witch hazel as an astringent. It smells kind of weird like alcohol. But for guys like us with oily skin, it kind of helps keep it a little bit drier, but not like to the point where you're going to dry out and get blackheads and things like that. So that's a great question.
But the same thing, don't use alcohol to do that, because alcohol over dries your face and it'll actually increase your oil production. So don't put alcohol in your face for that reason. If you got a cut or something, definitely do it, but don't be just yourself down.
A lot of that stuff is very person specific too, because like Cam said, everybody's genetics are a little bit different, and the stress levels and cortisol levels and all those things vary, you know, person to person, whether somebody that's not really living a stressful lifestyle versus somebody who is. All those things, there's a wide range of things.
So yeah, something similar to that. It's like, it's probably, you know, from guy to guy, but it seems to me that more guys lose a lot more hair than women. Do you guys know anything about that? Like, why is hair loss so popular among men, or is it just genetics, like you guys were talking about the clear skin, or what's up with that? I just was curious.
Yeah, the hair loss is definitely a big genetic part to it. Exactly why men lose more, I have no idea, but like women are less susceptible to it. So like whenever you see a woman with the hair loss, there's like an actual condition for it and things like that.
Exactly.
But
so I'm like, I'm always seeing bald guys around, but there's no bald girls.
There's bald women out there, but they're high. But again, that's a big genetic part for that, and a lot of it will circle way back around. Goes back to men don't talk about this kind of shit. So like women start going bald. First thing they're like, what the fuck is going on? They're start going bald, and we're like, I guess I'm shaving that shit. I'm going clean, girl.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that one, a lot of research needs to be done to that still, but that's kind of one of those things where we're still on the cusp. From you see these companies nowadays they have like some of the stuff you can put on the midoxanil and
like the beard things too that make your beard
stuff like that.
Exactly right.
So yeah, there's companies that put out. There's some medications out there for it, but it's still we're at the beginning of this for that, so we haven't gotten far enough to really understand why men are more susceptible to it, at least to my knowledge.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you can't ask Pat because he's got a thick, luscious lock of fucking hair.
I'm in the process of growing a mullet, so.
Oh hell yeah! Keep doing that. That's the new. I'm telling everybody, that's the new style. That's the new trend.
I think there's no freer way of living than just a little party in the back and a little bit.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. I love it, man.
Yeah, I was seeing online that they were doing some surgeries where they like every single hair follicle is a little. They implant every single follicle in the top of your head, or if you do a beard or something like that. Like one of my friends. One of his uncles got it done, and I'm not sure how it's going, but like that is kind of crazy. Every single hair follicle one by one, that's got to take a long time. And
it's another one of those older ones that are out there where they have special like clinics and whatnot you go to, and they have, so what they pretty much do is just kind of reseed with follicles from across your body somewhere else.
Right. It's like you're a Barbie doll sitting there.
Yeah. Sit back through.
Crazy. Yeah.
You walk in there and you got some like a 14-year-old Chinese girl back there working up at the table, putting that shit through.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
But some must work somewhat, because I haven't heard like none of these places getting closed down. No,
Yeah.
no malpractice lawsuits against them. So
yeah.
Something to them.
Something, it must be working a little bit, right?
I know. At least they're not those people like that girl who just, super glued or gorilla glued hair to her head. What was she thinking? Are you kidding me?
That's tough. That's super tough.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Thought process on that, I have no idea. Like, who the fuck's like, I'm gonna super glue my hair in place forever.
I think it's like the Tide Pods thing too. Like, who?
Yeah.
You know.
She got the perfect hairstyle and didn't want it to go away, so she
couldn't change it. Had to keep it that way forever.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a little bit of a left turn here, but one thing that I did want to ask you guys was, I saw one of the titles of your videos was talking about erectile dysfunction, and one thing that I really wanted to know was like, why do guys when they're drunk specifically sometimes get erectile dysfunction when the moment happens? What's up with that? What's going on?
So Cam, I'm gonna take this one. I'm a little bit of an ED expert.
You got the whiskey
dick. Oh shit.
So I'm gonna talk about the original kind of reason why erectile dysfunction happens. I'll get into the alcohol part here in a second. So
right.
Like we kind of said off camera a little bit, a lot of men's health problems are kind of the old man's thing, right? So we're saying, oh, I don't have to worry about ED. I'm in my 20s. I'll worry about that when I'm 50. So this kind of comes back to the diet lifestyle thing, where the veins and arteries in your penis are very similar in structure and function to the veins and arteries that lead in and out of your heart.
Right.
If you're having a blockage in your penis, and your penis, like obviously it's not a bone when you get a boner, it's blood vessels opening up and swelling,
right,
and blood rushing in, and then there's like this little sphincter that clamps and it keeps the blood in there. So if you're not able to get blood to your penis, you're not getting enough blood to your heart. And so the original, if somebody's listening and the ED is a problem, go get your heart checked out. There are underlying issues that might be building. This isn't, full medical advice, but this is actual science. There are many, many, many papers written on this. So, you can get the ED drug, but that's not solving the problem that's brewing in your heart.
Right.
Wow. The thing with alcohol and I guess the whiskey dick, as Cam called it, the alcohol kind of really thins out your blood, and it disrupts the function between brain and little guy.
I didn't even think about that. I'm like, alcohol's a blood thinner.
Right. And so there's issues there where your brain is like, yes, I want. The signal isn't really kind of getting where it needs to go to open blood vessels. And then there's a lot of other things that alcohol does to your vasculature in your penis, where, I guess you need what's called like the nitrous oxide. Is it nitric or nitrous oxide, Cam?
Nitric oxide.
Nitric oxide.
Yeah, because nitrous oxide is what you have in the car.
All right, so nitric oxide. And so that's actually one of the molecules that opens up your veins and arteries.
Right.
And so if you have good open veins and arteries, you're getting real good blood flow.
Oh, yeah.
Good blood flow.
You're cooking.
Right? So then what I will say for your viewers is that there are a few foods out there in the world that will really help with getting that nitric oxide going. Watermelon, eat your motherfucking celery.
Okay.
Celery.
And I know it's probably kind of gross, is beets. Eat your beets.
Oh, I love beets.
I love beets too. Perfect.
I know a lot of people are like, ew, beets. And I'm like, I wouldn't be saying that when you see that thing rock hard.
Shit, man, I'm gonna go home and crack open a can of beets
we
right
just
now.
wrote down a whole list. We're about to go to the store, grab some beets. Yeah,
Got
my the entire fucking kitchen, refill that shit, celery beets to the wall.
Mom, where's the celery?
Celery, watermelon, and beets are huge. Actually, celery is a big aphrodisiac, so that kind of the zinc salts in celery actually stimulate what's called LSH and FSH, and those are like precursors to your testosterone and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into the science stuff because no one really cares anyways. It's also very important to note that just because he said it's zinc, don't go out and buy zinc and just start chewing that shit thinking you're going to get a fucking big load. Yeah, that's because you can overdose on zinc pretty quick too, so don't do that.
Oh shit. I didn't know that. Damn,
that's scary. Okay. Wow.
It's not like overdosing on like fucking heroin or some shit, but you can still put too much in it, wreaks havoc on your body. So exactly. Don't go home, kids, and buy a fucking zinc oxide and just like, don't do that. You won't have a fat dick. I'm telling you.
They're like, I need to get bigger, man.
Gotta get hard, son. Don't do it. So maybe in a couple weeks, ask your viewers what that beat intake is like, and
we'll do a poll.
Get back to us. Yeah, give us a shout out. Like, tell them, did you eat your beets, celery, and watermelon today? Do a poll back to us. I'd love to hear like just what you guys are doing. It'd be cool because I think our viewers are like, will these guys shut up about this?
Right.
I don't know if you guys are taking polls in like inches and whatnot. Don't be getting growth charts on that.
We're not going to get too personal.
Right. Yeah. A beat a day will keep the softness away.
Yeah, that's it. Catchphrase right there. Bumper.
Right. All right. To like end on the, kind of more professional type of questions and, related to your industry and stuff like that. But I just had a question. This is just like a typical question that I've always had. Because I've always seen like people say like on memes and just on TV shows that women always live longer than men. And is that true? And why is that true?
There's an 11-year difference between men and women. Men die way younger.
11 years. See, that's
stupid.
Like...
big ones were dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't.
There's all those like this is why they're doing. This guy's just doing some dumb shit.
Yeah, like women didn't make Jackass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly. Were there even any women in Jackass? Like for real? I don't think so.
I think who did the porta potty? There wasn't there a girl in a porta potty? She did the porta potty slingshot.
No,
like
that was
somebody
Steve-O.
famous. No, didn't a girl get in there? It was like some sort of famous singer, Britney Spears or something.
Britney Spears might do that shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say not
Britney Spears. It was some.
No,
definitely not Britney.
I don't know who it was. I swear.
Was it maybe Ryan Dunn? Rest in peace.
Rest in
Ryan Dunn.
He was hilarious.
He was one of my favorites.
Pour a little out for Ryan Dunn right over here.
Yeah, for real though.
Really? Oh, there you go.
So we do dumb shit. Our diets are worse. What else, Cam? I think there's probably a million reasons why. It wraps back to everything. We intake more alcohol, so that's bad for us. We don't watch anything that we're doing, so we start gaining weight kind of crazy. We don't talk to anybody as well, so we're not helping out with our depression. We're not helping out with starting to have diabetes or something like that. We're not talking to somebody about it, and that kind of circles back to everything. That's kind of why we're higher in suicides. Kind of why we're higher in overall death rates. It also some of it's society stuff because until recently, like military was solely for men working these really hard jobs. I mean, even though now, like, you don't really see a whole lot of women doing oil rig stuff, but like these really dangerous type jobs, there's a lot more males doing it than that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of it's also kind of this like primordial instinct kind of shit. Like, I don't know that many girls that want to go fucking in the ocean and work for Shell on an oil rig.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't really recommend that either, I guess. I couldn't imagine being the only girl in that motherfucking thing. Like,
that would suck.
Yeah.
A lot of roan on that. There's a lot of hot dogs in that package, so I don't know.
A little bit of a sausage party. So that kind of like ends the more serious type of questions that we wanted to ask you. So now we wanted to get into some like kind of more laid back, just like average normal questions.
Shit, that was being serious. That's awesome. Yeah, right.
I mean, that's for us. Like,
because we didn't know how serious you guys were about it. We had our questions. I mean, you guys answered those fucking perfectly. Those were all like legit questions that I had personally. I mean, for the viewers too, but you answered them all and blew me away with some of the answers. So I was glad that I got those questions and that you guys answered them. So thank you for that. We really like truly here love men's health. We love hearing guys getting healthy. Get stuff
we get stuff in the Instagram that's like, hey, I've been walking for 2 weeks. I feel great. And it's just like, you know, if it changes one person's life, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's kind of like where we're at with it, is like, we're just trying to kind of do this one step at a time. Just like we say, go walk one step at a time. We're trying to help people understand, you know, one step at a time. Eat your beets, eat your celery, eat your watermelon. You're good to go, right?
Right. Yeah. Awesome.
Just a tad bit of zinc.
Yeah. Just a little bit. One overdose.
Yeah, you want to get. If you can find your zinc in natural sources, if you look up the foods that are high in zinc, that's kind of a better way of your body processing it than if you get a vitamin, you get it, but you're paying a lot of money to piss 90% of that out.
You're making some really nice piss.
Yeah.
So one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, how did you guys personally get into doing this podcast? What started it, and what's motivating you guys to continue? I mean, you guys kind of covered that, but
let me hop on first on that because I'm newer to this. So like Pat will give the whole background later. So Pat's my boy. So our second year or summer of first year, beginning of second year.
Second year,
he started up the men's health thing at school, and like I'm the charismatic guy. Like for our class, we have a class of 100 people, and like I'm the speaker of the class. Like I'm fucking ham all the time, I guess.
Yeah.
So he was like,
he's our class mouthpiece for sure.
Yeah. He's like, not only do I have a dumper, but I got a mouth to go with it. But he was like, yo, I'm gonna do this thing. Let's do this men's health. I was like, fuck yeah. So then he started the podcast up with one of our classmates. He got busy, you know, he's getting a life going on. So he's like, yo, I need somebody else. You want to fucking do this shit? And I was like, yo, let's fuck some ass.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Great.
That's the one way to say
it. The Men's Health podcast came from, like Cam said, we kind of started up an initiative at school about men's health. It was, we kind of noticed it was a glaring issue. My grandfather had some issues that weren't necessarily men's health, but I noticed that he wasn't getting the instruction that he should have gotten in when he was getting sick and getting older. He wasn't getting like good education. They were sitting there saying, sir, you have this, and this, using medical terminology. And he's like a 90-year-old guy that was a carpenter and fought in World War II. So he's just like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I can't, I can't breathe. So what the hell's going on? Right?
I can't breathe. I don't care what you say. Just let me know. I want to fucking know what's wrong with me.
Yeah. And so it was really, a lot of it was coming out of, you know, the lack of time spent from healthcare professionals being able to break down something in layman's terms and say, sir, this is why this is not working.
Exactly.
In a relatable language. So we felt like there might have been an issue with communication from healthcare professionals. Then we found out there's a huge issue with guys even talking to healthcare professionals. Kind of to circle back really quick, when you guys go to the doctor, and I don't know how it is out on the West Coast, but a lot of the doctor's office have pastel paint on the walls, daytime talk shows, all that stuff going on. It's not really a guy-friendly place. Like, you're not at a doctor's office. Excuse me, the beer got me a little burped. When you're in the doctor's office, there's not a pool table, and there's not somebody bringing you a beer, and there's, you know, not sports on TV.
Yeah, right.
It's not a guy-friendly place.
Yeah, no.
And so we kind of started to see all these glaring issues, and we started reading statistics, and we're like, shit, maybe we should do something about this. And then we started the thing with school, and then COVID hit, and that all got shut down. So I'm like, you ain't gonna hold my men's health down. And so we started a podcast.
That's awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that actually is pretty cool.
Glad to see you guys are still going.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, same to you. I know we kind of linked up early on in our podcast, and I think early on in you guys' podcast. I'm really excited you guys are going on.
Right. Yeah.
We almost had an interview done like 3 months ago, but that like just fizzled out into nothing. But you know, we're here right now.
Yeah, we made it back. You know,
that's important.
That's important.
Yeah.
Hopefully, for some coming.
You know, sometimes pharmacy school just straight up kicks your dick in. I mean, there's nobody. and it's like not just once either. It is a repeated, like,
oh shit,
you know.
I mean, I bet.
Got a smile on its face while it's doing it too.
Yeah, it's like lady dressed up in BDSM and high heels, and you're tied up. And
oh my God.
She don't give a fuck about your safety. You're sitting there yelling pineapples, and she don't give a fuck. She's crushing them cubes.
Oh shit! Oh damn, that's great.
So that's kind of that's kind of why we're doing the men's health thing, and I kind of want to take on my adventure out of school. I'm going to keep pursuing it. I know Cam's really passionate about it, and I think we're just going to keep working, kind of keep growing and spreading the message. So
yeah,
awesome. Yeah, if you guys like weren't doing this, if you picked another profession or another job, what would it be? Like if you guys weren't doing the pharmaceutical stuff.
So that really depends on what I want. Do I want to be happy or do I want to do what's smart? So what I should have done is I should have went to med school, because like realistically, personally for myself, I'm better at that kind of like way of learning. They do a lot of more hands-on kind of stuff, and it's a bit more rapid. Their knowledge is more again on the patient diagnostic stuff, so they don't get a lot of the particulars like we're getting. So it's kind of balanced out. Plus, you also start grabbing on dead bodies kind of quick, so that's all right. I've been there. That's all right. If I wanted to be happy, I'd probably be like working on like cars or some shit. Cause like I'm really good at doing this with my hands. But like we gotta be honest, like that job don't pay shit unless you start getting either like big teams or you get some kind of big company going. Even carpentry, roofing, stuff like not roofing, fuck roofing. But carpentry, you know, that'd be all right. Some of my
roofing sucks. I've done that.
Roofing sucks. Especially like I'd probably say out there for you guys, but out in Florida, like you spend 5 minutes on that roof and your ass is big to fucking that
I couldn't imagine on the
SpongeBob. Fucking roasted.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Did that for a while. I was like, I'm good. Fuck this.
Right.
I'll go be a nerd with some books.
Exactly.
All right. So one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, starting off with you, Cam. I see in the background you got like a little Star Wars ship going on over there. I wanted to ask. Fuck yeah, I fuck with that a lot. That's super sick. I wanted to ask you guys what kind of shows are you guys into? What kind of movies are you watching? Is there any series on TV right now that you guys are super into? Let me know.
Shit. So I got a baby face, so I'm fucking 30. So, yeah, right. So I don't really watch a whole lot.
Great. You look great.
Yeah. So, because you know, I joined the Marine Corps out of high school, so that took up 4 years, and then I got a bachelor's in biochemistry, so that took up. Essentially with the pre stuff before pharmacy, I took an additional 2 years. So now pharmacy is a 4-year degree. So I'm a little bit behind, but it's whatever. But yeah, so I like the Star Wars stuff. I haven't really watched the new movies because honestly, I'm not about what's going on with that stuff. It's not for me, you know, whatever.
Okay.
But I was walking around the store and they had like these little models. So I got like a TIE fighter, I got an X-Wing further down, and then I have the Millennium Falcon on the other side. That's my whiteboard.
That's sick.
So it's like it's set up in like a thingy. But I saw the store, I was like, I'm fucking buying that. Because when I was a kid, one of those bitches, you're paying hundreds of dollars, so I jumped on that. But I mostly watch like when I'm not getting fucking ass ringed by school all for 12 hours a day. I'm watching stuff on YouTube. I've been catching up on that damn Amazon's been kicking some ass lately because when they put out that Borat 2 and they got Coming to America 2. Like I don't know if you guys have watched Coming to America or are savvy to Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall. Those motherfuckers are funny as shit.
I just watched Coming to America 2. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
If you haven't seen one, you have to go back and watch one because I'm telling you, Eddie Murphy prime, like the fucking best. I had this sergeant in my second unit, Sergeant Cadet. He's probably not gonna be on this because he doesn't. I don't know what he does. Doesn't matter. I used to watch Eddie Murphy Raw every year when I got out. That's because he looks the same and like they talk kind of the same. It's fucking hilarious. And I always would message like, "Yo, motherfucker, guess who I'm watching?" But Eddie Murphy's hilarious back in the day. So really, these old movies coming back, I'm keeping them on that. And then I watch stuff on YouTube that's fucking like I've been watching this. I don't know what the fuck you call him, I guess. But he's this old good boy out there in like Minnesota or some shit, and he's like rebuilding cars, finding old cars in the woods or some shit, putting them back together, get them running. Then his crazy ass will drive him like 500 miles home. So, you know, you got like a 70 Chevelle that's been sitting for 30 fucking years. And this guy's like, I'm just going to put some gas and go.
Connect a few strings.
Yeah. At a certain point, like watching all this stuff, playing the video games, things like that, it really becomes like it's another job, another task you have to do. It's fucking depressing.
It really is though. Do you play any games? Are you a gamer at all?
Yeah, I got the Xbox, so I play on that, and like, I love playing like these I don't like the big wide kind of games like Fallout, fucking Far Cry. Love that shit. I busted out the PS2, and I'm trying to get Need for Speed Underground 2 going, right?
Oh, that's the best. Hell yeah, that's a
did you ever play Burnout?
You start building shit,
and I'm like, oh, so fun.
It's so good. And I'm like, fuck yeah. And then it's like, cool, you now have 25 more races. And I'm like, God damn, I'm trying to build the Subaru. Like, fuck.
Like, oh, damn it.
They keep you hooked onto that so you can't leave. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, because like, so I drive a Subaru. I have a WRX that I've been working on. It's lifted up and it's like rally setup. It's pushing 330 horsepower. So like it's toasted my fucking tires. It's what I can spend my time on.
Yeah.
But the Subaru is the last fucking car you unlock in that game.
Oh.
So I'm sitting with a Miata right now. Like, this is bullshit.
I want my damn Subaru. Come on. I swear they always know.
Yeah, like most of the people listening, like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? But I don't really do a whole lot of watching or doing stuff. Like mostly now with like school, and then I just try to decompress before the next day because it repeats.
Right. Fuck yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I would say that I'm like pop culturally inept. Like I like my Star Wars. I like stuff. I think the last movie I went to go see in theaters was the Avengers Endgame Part 2.
Yep. Did you have you seen that WandaVision yet?
I have not. I don't.
It's great.
It's so hard. So I'm kind of like the person that commits to watching a show. Like, yeah, sure, I'll watch that. And then I sit down and 10 minutes in, like, not that it's not interesting, but I'm like, ooh, shiny. And I just run off.
Right. Yeah.
I have the attention span of a squirrel.
No, yeah, that's like me. I hadn't watched any TV show or any series probably for at least 2 years, like fully through. And then Robbie, he's like, oh, you should check out WandaVision. And that was like the first TV show that I've actually sat down and binge watched like crazy. It was actually really good.
I did get a Ghost of Tsushima on the PlayStation.
Ooh, that's sick.
So it's a great game. I ambitiously bought it like I think 3 days, like right after Christmas. And we started our semester on January 3rd. And I was just like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to buy this and win. And I bought it and I played it once and I haven't picked it up again. And it was like, I played it for 6 hours and I was like, this is awesome. You know, severing people's heads. And I was a big fan of like the Ninja Gaiden series as a younger guy. My fun fact about video games is back in the day, when I was in my early 20s and playing college baseball with a lot more free time.
Yeah.
I was ranked in the top 10,000 in the world of Gears of War 1.
Oh shit! We gotta see
what?
Yeah. On the scoreboard over here.
That's textbook was my gamer tag. So
yeah,
what happened to that gamer tag? But that was me.
Probably made some kids rage. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is. I remember like playing the number 2 person in the world, and he was from England. I don't remember what his gamer tag was, but me and him, I played against him like quite a bit in like the middle of the day kind of thing, skipping class and just playing video games instead. And that like the number 2 player in the world was a badass, like how much faster they are than you and just better. And it's like, gosh, get a life, bro. But I mean, I can't really say
like your ass beat.
Yeah, I was just getting mad.
That's like when there's like levels to video games. It's like certain video games, if you're new and you have no skill, you can play for a bit and have some fun. But then when you start getting to people that are like 50th prestige, every gun is gold and diamond, and they're just like one-shotting you on Call of Duty, it's like, okay, man, like I'm just here to have a fun time. I'm not trying to sweat my ass off like you, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, go eat some celery and get a girlfriend.
I have no idea why games don't have like the ability to not get fucking wrecked like that. Like when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out online, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So like, you know, I live across the state from my brother and stuff, and he plays video games. So we can play games, but then you're playing online. You got some like 3-year-old who comes over with a fucking, I don't know what the fuck, $1 bazillion, just continues to ass fuck you on the highway. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, I'm gonna fuck your mom. And you're like, what the fuck? And like, I played that shit online like one time and you just get raped so much. And I'm like, nope, boop, boop, fuck that.
Yeah, he's got like a jet or something just blowing you up repeatedly. And you're like, what am I fucking supposed to do here? Like,
how do I not get raped? Is there like a
Where is that? Where's the server where we're all just playing and we're all nice?
Yeah, leaving each other alone.
I just hope both teams. I just hope everybody has fun and nobody gets hurt.
Right. So how's school for you guys? I know you guys just were talking about getting railed in the ass with homework, but other than that, how's like your school life? Is it fun? I know COVID right now has probably ruined a lot of things, but talk about your school, maybe pre-COVID, anything cool or specific that your school does that anybody else doesn't or something like that?
It was way more fun when we were in class. Like I do feel for the class below us who've only had they had a semester before we went online, and then the current class below them who has been online the entire time, and they're having a rough time on that.
Yeah.
So pharmacy school is expensive, and I am not a fan of paying all this money to sit at home watching fucking videos when I could be, doing something else. I don't like doing that. I like to get
I feel that. Yeah, that's a really big problem with everyone out there. Why am I spending a couple $1,000s less than normal tuition when it's nowhere near the same? I'm sitting in my room in my pajamas and the professor's there for an hour on Zoom. It's like I'm not getting nearly the same education.
We got hooked on it because they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna readjust your tuition and it'll go down." Events at the school, we do stuff outside the school, things like that. It was a lot nicer. Our school is kind of like one of those, I guess, a smaller school. It's newer, but it's kind of what I liked about it because it gave us more freedom to kind of do what the fuck we wanted to do. So I know not everybody is goal orientated as tightly as others, but like first year I kind of knew exactly what I wanted to do. So being out of Florida, I found the programs I needed to get certified in what I want. Shit's out of New Mexico, so I went and did that on my own just because you had the flexibility to do it. You're not locked in by stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. The transition online sucks because now we spend about 12 hours a day on this fucking computer. They expect a whole lot, and it's kind of difficult. It is kind of nice because it's on the computer, Right. And then if you're, don't post this shit till we graduate. But if you're nerds like us who have multiple screens, it's kind of nice. But I kind of wish you'd go back to live. But it is what it is.
I guess I really like being in school, and like Cam and I are like the two old men in class, and we've like lived life. Cam probably much so more than I have.
It depends on the definition. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's just having like life experience. So we're kind of running around with a bunch of people who maybe their only job they've ever had is like pharmacy tech or, work at your parents' pharmacy kind of thing. And there hasn't really been of like life exposure. And so I think that it's funny for us because we watch people scramble for stuff that's like, this really isn't going to mean anything in the future, guys, right? So we, Cam and I like to joke around. I know there was a presentation one time where like, I didn't really know Cam that well. And he sat in front of me at the time. It was like our first year, and he turns around and he tells us, "I bet you guys I can say blow your backs out 3 times in this presentation." And so then they call on his academic team, and he goes down there, and he's just like, the first sentence he says is like, "Yeah, I'm not trying to blow you guys backs out with this science shit." Pharmacy.
There's no way you got away with this shit. There's no way.
And that wasn't the only time.
3 times. Yeah, he said it 3 times in that presentation alone.
Oh shit, that's so great. Oh, that's golden.
Yeah, and it's like they don't catch it and I think the other funny thing was when I debuted the Operation Men's Health at school, our logo, Cam, you can show on the koozie, is like a giant red rocket.
Oh, shit, I get it.
And like no one got the joke except for one of our homies in class, and like you see the Operation Men's Health come up on the screen, and this massive red rocket, like 200 people in the auditorium like looking at it. And you just hear our homie go, "Bah!"
I love that.
And I get back up and he comes up to me and he's like, "How did you ever get a red rocket on that? Like, how did you do that?"
Yeah.
You got the joke.
It just worked.
It just worked. Yeah, that's amazing.
Like the professors didn't get the joke. Nobody got the joke. Oh, actually, G got the joke.
Let's say our faculty advisor definitely understands what we're doing. She knows exactly what the fuck we're doing, but she's cool with it.
She's cool. Awesome. She gets it. Yeah, but I don't think anybody else got it. I think that had to like pass through approval for a few people, and they're like, "Oh, what a cute logo." And we're like, "Yeah, it is. Thank you."
Great. You're like, "Well, that was easy."
Yeah, 0 resistance for the giant red rocket that 10 feet long.
10-foot long red rocket. Holy fucking shit.
I think the worst part about going online though is, so in April we had this fundraiser planned where we're gonna sell stress balls for like $1 or something. And Pat has a guy who's willing to like fund the money for it if we put his logo on it. We're gonna make them blue little balls, and we got approved to call them shit stressticles. So we're gonna sell stressticles. And now that we're not in person, we can't do that, and it kind of fucking ruins it, you know.
No, dude, I want a stressicle so bad.
Men's Health Unscripted might debut some stressicles.
Like, can you imagine, like, you got the koozies with a rocket, then you get your stressicles down here.
Red rocket and the blue stressicles.
That'd be gold right there.
Oh, that's great.
Hey,
oh man, that's hilarious.
We've got some stuff in the works because as you guys know, Florida is the wild West with COVID. So here, I guess the numbers have been like kind of leveling off and going down, and I've got a couple local partners. So we're gonna try to get people to donate money to us to fund PSA tests for guys. So
right.
I don't know if you guys know what a PSA test, but instead of the good old fashioned way with the glove and 2 fingers, you can just take a blood test, and that can it tells the prostate specific antigen hormone that's going on, and it can kind of like let you know if your prostate is having problems. It doesn't necessarily mean prostate cancer.
Right.
It's a good general rule. Personally, I would pay extra for the good old fashioned, but
I gotta say, you gotta opt in for that.
Yeah.
But that's an experience you can't miss.
Right.
Welcome to adulthood.
That's
your first step.
40. I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I think that we might debut some stressicles when we do like to have giveaways and stuff. If you come to a Men's Health party, like we're gonna give you some shit.
Oh yeah.
And
like I saw Cam, he's wearing a shirt. That's a nice shirt. Did you guys design it yourself?
That's our shirt.
Yep. One of those ones, again, we didn't, like, we completely went around the school and stuff like that. Pat had one of his friends set it up. The big part of it is it's hard to tell, but it's got Zeus riding a bull. So with legalities and whatnot, you can't use certain logos that may represent like a school or a sports team or things like that. Right, so we had somebody hand draw something, and it fucks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's definitely cool.
I noticed it when you first joined the call. I was like, that's sick. Did they get that designed, or did they have somebody?
Yeah,
did they do it themselves, or have something?
Local tattoo artist here in Tampa, his apprentice designed the Zeus riding a bull logo for me.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Sick. And I just said, give me something easily readable that I can put on a shirt, and he did a great job. So, we have some artwork kind of in the works. We were kind of in the growth and development stage as far as being aesthetically pleasing.
Right.
And I'll get a hold of you guys' addresses, and we get some new giveaway stuff. I'll definitely send you guys some stressticles and.
Oh yeah, we got stuff too that we're giving away too. So we'll do a little swapper.
So I'm all for a merch swap. Right now I'm wearing a buddy shirt. His name is Mason.
Oh,
it's the Gorilla.
That's sick.
His company's called Blue Collar Proud. He operates like a fleet of dump trucks and construction equipment, and him and I always do merch swaps and things like that. So he actually sent me the shirt about a year ago, and I just like him and I always trade stuff. So if you guys want to get in on the merch swap,
oh yeah, dude, yeah, no, definitely,
I love it.
We'll get in there for sure.
We'll definitely let you guys know about that. Yeah, because I got my own stuff over here. Like I have all the equipment to make shirts, masks. I got the whole setup at my place. So that's a whole other thing that I'm working on doing. With our company. We're also in the same kind of area of trying to get everything aesthetically pleasing, working on making better logos and just working on the whole aesthetic part of your YouTube, because I think that that's a big thing that a lot of people, I think that we especially didn't work on in the very beginning, is making everything look nice.
Right.
I think a lot of it was just trying to get like our stuff out there first and just get started, and then work on it from there on. So right now we're at the point where we're on a great schedule and everything's going good, but we need to slowly start upgrading and making everything higher quality. So
it's all baby steps. I'm sure, like, I think when we first linked up on Instagram, our logo was like a mustache built out of fruit and vegetables.
Yeah.
Ben, if you go back and look, there might be some dicks hidden in there. I don't know. I don't know if I got this. I'm like Disney. I love hiding dicks and everything.
Yeah, exactly, right.
So we had that, and then recently, if you look at our Instagram, there's I think it's the MH thing, because I think somebody at school might be looking. I think one of the administrators at school might be seeing what I'm doing. So I'm kind of like going a little low profile right now with the MH logo, but I think, I'm going to put it back, but it was the microphone with the headphones.
Yeah.
I swear, when I put up the microphone with the headphones, I think I got 300 likes like in a week and a half. I'm not even kidding. Like,
wow.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if it was like clickbait, like Men's Health. What is this? This huge microphone. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Kind of thing. And we actually like have good information. But I think the microphone and I actually got messages from some doctor buddies of mine who are like, I mean, they're fucking 70, so they're out of touch. But like, that might be offensive. And
shit.
No, we got to let them know what we're here to talk about.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
And so we'll joke around and be like, oh yeah, we're so pro state kind of thing. Just trying to find like fun ways to get people involved and say like fun stuff with Men's Health. Like,
right. Oh, that's what they probably mean by a pro-state lifestyle.
Yeah,
that's it.
I had a question written down, and I would swear I was going to ask it. I was going to say, how do you live a oh my God. I was going to ask, how do you live a pro-state lifestyle? And I was thinking about it because I saw it in the title of one of your guys' videos, and I was like, that seems like something I want to ask them. And now you're saying it right now. I was like,
you got to take care of
them. I'm so happy.
Take care of that guy. You did ask. I mean, you're like, hey, what's three ways of being a little more
right? Yeah, that's so funny though.
Yeah,
that's golden. That's
golden. Just trying to find fun things that are engaging. I mean, and that's like the problem with Men's Health. It was just like, it has to be so rigid all the time. Like if I've got urologists reaching out to me saying like, oh, your microphone and headphones are offensive, and I'm like, well, that's probably your problem. And like, no, you, but the way you've been doing it ain't working. So let's do it now.
Exactly.
That's where we're at.
Sensitive nowadays, man. Cancel culture is at its finest.
Yeah, it is.
At its highest.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a certain element of like, you can be polite, nice and fun. And then like, damn it, can we just like take a joke, please? Because life is
I just saw something on Instagram. They're canceling Peter Pan and Dumbo because there's like underlying like disses or something like that, like with the names or something, like Dumbo, the name's not nice or something like that. And I'm like, what is wrong with people?
If they're going after Dumbo for this name and not those fucking ravens, like, God, like you guys might not know, like recognize or like know the movie. There's some crows that hang out, and it's like the classic 50s like black.
Right. I mean, it might be from that. I just saw like a little picture real quick in an Instagram caption saying that they were canceling Peter Pan and Dumbo because of negative underlying things. So
I think I saw something, but I don't know why people like don't realize this stuff comes from a different time period. Like I get it, it's not something you want to support nowadays, right? But it's just fucking Dumbo.
Exactly. Yeah, it's literally just Dumbo.
And if you don't like it, don't watch it. Sorry.
Yeah, if you don't like it, it's fine. I mean, you don't have to fucking go crazy on it, but that's
all
cultural stuff, society stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like really kind of like, damn, y'all canceling Pepe Le Pew.
I know he's not in the new what is it, Space Jam movie?
Yeah,
I'm like he's showing rape culture or something along those lines.
Yeah, that guy was like super smooth and suave, and I kind of grew up on those cartoons and stuff, and it's like, maybe, I don't know, I guess I'd have to go back and watch one of the cartoons and see, but I remember like, yeah, it's funny, like that's entertaining. He's supposed to be the sleazy French guy, like,
right,
that person exists, guys, like
exactly. That's the point. That person exists.
That person's real. That's an actual like, and it's, even when you do movies, like it's always the upgrade of who that person is, maybe as like a real thing. Like most of us are pretty boring day to day. So if you're doing a movie or, a show or whatever, it's like that personality has to be turned up to the times 10 for it to be, understandable in an hour and a half that you're watching a movie. It's
right.
Otherwise, like you would be watching 24 hours of super mundane shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, anybody who hates Pepe Le Pew. I grew up on that guy. Popeye's cool too. I don't know if you guys are canceling him, but
Yo, Popeye's swole as fuck. They better back up.
He is
Yeah.
swole.
Yeah, he's spinach.
Popeye's a big spinach celery guy, I think.
Yeah, and he's eating leaves, man.
That's why olive oil never stayed with Brutus, because he, right, you know.
Oh shit. Okay. Well,
what is your guys' thoughts on the vaccine? Do you guys like would like kind of like on a conspiracy level, like do you think it's like safe, or like what is like your thoughts on it? Like a lot of people are saying that it don't take it, a lot of people are saying take it. Like what are your thoughts on it? I mean, I've already taken half of it. I got to get my other half in a couple of weeks, so I mean, I don't really personally, if it kills me, then it kills me, but you know.
I mean, you know, everybody's body's different, and I think that we did an episode with the RX Daily Dose guys, a couple of doctors in New York, and it was a good episode. We talked about the vaccine, and so, you know, I didn't kind of go into it with as much with them because they're a little bit more of a professional, you know, kind of podcast where they wanted to really talk medical science. But I'll tell you guys right now, if you're getting microchipped or something, you already got it in your pocket. They're not worried about chipping you. So like throw that out the door.
That's that exact shit.
The mRNA technology, I don't care what anybody says, that shit's been around for like 20 some years. Am I right, Cam? 20, 30 years?
Been around for a while, yeah.
Since like the 80s or 90s. I mean, mRNA tech has been around for a bit. Vaccines are, you know, I know it comes off as rushed, but there was already previously a COVID or a SARS COVID kind of thing going on years ago. They already had kind of like,
they had the backbone for it.
Yeah, the proteins that they could isolate to make a vaccine for it. And so, yes, it was rushed, but a lot of the science was already established.
Right.
That's how they could pump it out in a year. Now, if it was just like a completely new, you know, strain or completely new virus, it would take a lot longer than a year probably. But the backbone was already laid. So anybody who's out there watching it, I already got my first shot. I've got to go get my second one, but and that's like a major side effect of the COVID vaccine too, is like once you get the vaccine, you can't stop talking about getting the vaccine.
What's hot news right now?
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
On some of this stuff right here because so I've been slinging these motherfuckers out like cocaine for the last like 2 months now.
Right.
Like, I've been doing them for work. I do them for school, for shot clinics and stuff like that. So I'm doing a shitload of these things. So a big part of it is, like you're saying, stuff existed for a while. They used SARS viruses for that. They have like little spikes on them and how they contact and land. So those already existed. COVID virus has the same spikes, so they're able to already have that. The big issue, the big drawback on like what took so long from the original starting of mRNA vaccines to now is how to make the genetic material. So mRNA is just a little bit of like genetic material that typically in your body makes the same stuff. It'll get connected to another protein that'll read it and make protein chains. So that's exactly all it does. So you're getting that put in. Your body will read it. It'll make the proteins that can be seen. Your body will attack, and it knows what's going on. Same thing with the microchip thing. I don't know why people think this is what's going on.
Because, I don't know.
Microchips.
You got one in your pocket.
Vial,
it's okay.
Right.
Yeah. In a vial of solution.
Liquid microchips. I don't know about that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Plus, I carry the stupid computer around all the time anyway, so it's like I'm already being tracked. Doesn't matter. But it's not a big deal. Everybody think it is. I don't quite understand it. Why it's such an ordeal. In the Marine Corps, like I got everything. So I got the Japanese encephalopathy. I got the smallpox. I got what is the other shit? What's the bad one I got?
1 second.
What's that bacteria? Anthrax. That one was a bitch. So if it's not as bad as anthrax, I don't give a fuck. Because that thing was bad. It's a 7-shot series. It just kills your.
Oh my God.
7 shots? What the fuck? Hell no.
The next day, your arm is useless. Like you can't really move it. You can't bend it or anything. It's a bad one. So if it's not bad, it'd be fine. But I got both doses of Moderna, and I had no issues with that. No side effects. If it's gonna give some protection, that's all I'm about it.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely.
Yeah. The CDC, they just came out and said that the people who are fully vaccinated with both doses too can hang out indoors now, I guess, around without wearing masks. So I guess that's one further to social outings and everything again,
Yeah, it's kind of getting us a step closer. I don't like how the government's telling me how I can start doing shit now. Like they need to get the fuck out of my news, my business.
Right.
But because working from the government, I do healthcare stuff. I believe in some of the science and shit, and so I do understand there are some sketchy areas, especially when the government's kind of running this stuff.
No, exactly. Yeah.
And then being a male in America, I don't want the government telling me I can or can't do something. Like, get out of here with that business.
Yeah,
exactly.
But I'm also trusting that people will take the logical steps to protect themselves and their family members, and that's not what happens. So I understand.
No, I totally agree with that. I wanted to see what you guys thought about it. Yeah.
Yep. Vaccines are generally safe, guys. Sorry, I missed a couple of seconds. My dog was like making out like he wanted to come out and be world famous on a podcast, but then he was nope.
The joke's on us. Pat grabbed the peanut butter.
Shit, if I had the peanut butter, he'd be out here.
Getting serviced.
Yeah. I think that's like kind of a running joke with us is like the last couple of years since I've known these guys, I like will post on our one of our group chats. I'll be like, oh, looks like I'm having a sweet Valentine's Day. And it's like a picture of peanut butter and my dog. I don't actually do that. I just like, I just like jokes. Everybody's like, it's going to be listening to this. They're going to roll their eyes. They'll be like, I don't even know you, but you're a sick fuck. No, I just like jokes. I just like jokes.
Hide the peanut butter. Keep that shit away.
Yeah, I just like jokes. Like don't come after me, Peta.
For comedy purpose.
No dogs were harmed in the filming of this podcast.
Yeah. No.
Well, guys, I think we've been recording for a while. I think that we are towards the end, at the end of the podcast. I personally want to thank you guys, or we both want to thank you guys
so much
spending your time with talking to us, answering some of our personal questions and general questions. So really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, guys, thanks for taking the time. And if there's anything that you guys, want to end on and want our viewers to know, if there's anything that we left out or any last touching things, if you want to let them know now, then feel free to.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for letting us come out here and speak like jackasses for a while, because that's always fun.
Right.
Some I'm pretty good at, and some I enjoy doing. But something for everybody out there, like the big thing, to push our profession out there. Your pharmacists are out there; they're easily available and accessible healthcare professionals. We go through very vigorous schooling for this stuff. We know a lot of our stuff when it comes to medicines, health conditions, things like that. So if you have any questions, like if you don't want to talk to anybody, the least you can do is stop off at your local pharmacy. They have a counseling area where they can pull them aside, just ask them some questions. Get your health looked at in that way. At least start that off. Get that conversation.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to ask questions about your medications. Don't just take them and just be like, yeah, I got it. Take two.
Right.
Yeah. Ask about your side effects. Ask about things that can harm you. Medications are safe. There's proven safe by the FDA and whatnot, but there's a lot of drug interactions that a lot of people don't know about. And I'm not saying this about any other profession, but pharmacy knows the most about your medications more than anybody. I don't care what anybody says. Like, we have to know this. Our exams are around this. Our lives are kind of built around this. So trust your pharmacist. Like Cam said, it's easily accessible. Go to your community pharmacy, and they're legally required to counsel you and provide you any information that they have to.
That is state dependent.
Yeah. Also, my main thing, take care of yourselves, guys. Men and women, we love everybody. Like we'd really people to be happier and healthier. And especially with COVID, I think mental health is a huge issue, and physical health. And I think Cam said it recently. That shit is all tied together. It's not just, you're not just like a body separate from your mind. The whole thing is working at the same time. So take care of your body, take care of your mind, go talk to somebody, go see your doctor, and just eat good whole food.
Oh yeah.
Yep. and fucking shoot.
Thanks again, guys, for coming on. If you guys did like this episode, like I said in the beginning, first link in the description. They're great guys. They have great content. Go like all their stuff on Spotify and all the other different platforms that they use. So yeah.
If you don't like it, fuck off, because I don't have time to read that shit. So.
Yeah, fuck off.
If you ain't subscribed, don't subscribe. We don't need you. Right?
Yeah. Men's Health Unscripted on Instagram, unscripted_MH on Twitter. If you want to troll me, I would love it.
Yeah, get some interaction going.
If you don't agree with anything I said on here, I love internet trolls. I think that shit's so much fun. I know I'm probably opening up a crazy door, but when I get some free time, I will respond to you.
Right.
So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I really can't thank you guys enough. I know you guys are great young men for having this podcast, and just like,
hell yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
A creative outreach, no matter what it is, whether it's, this is you guys' form of art, is just really important. Also, again, for the mental health. I mean, we're stuck behind a desk and doing regimented stuff all day, and so this is our creative outreach and a chance to kind of be ourselves and also give some good information. So thank you guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys, of course.
And Vilma's quietly thick.
Yes, she is. Velma is very thick. She's
oh yeah.
Vilma's really the all-star of that show, and like she flies under the radar. She's underrated. Vilma's go.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, Daphne's overrated.
She needs some more appreciation around here, dude.
Yeah, she's got it with me. Vilma's got my
vote. She's got my vote.
Yeah, she can lose those glasses any day of the week.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, of course. Thank you, man. You guys have a great night.